7 p.m. City of Somerton regular council meeting. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jesus Roldan, Council Member Luis Galindo,
Present.
Council Member Miguel Villalpando,
Present.
Member Juan Castillo,
Present.
Council Member Marta Gonzalez,
Present.
Council Member Lorena Delgadillo.
Present.
Mayor have a quorum.
Thank you. Gonna move on to call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council?
Jamila Sanchez.
Hi, I'm with the Safe House. I just wanted to invite everyone for our annual domestic violence walk that we're having October 12th from 5 to 7.
Excuse me, could you just state your name and who you
Jamila
represent?
Sanchez with the Safe House. I'm an advocate, brand new one. We are having our third annual walk, domestic violence, on October 12th. We did put flyers out there and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Okay. Okay, we have two proclamations. The first one is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Whereas domestic violence is a serious and pervasive crime affecting millions of women, men, children, and communities in the United States every year. Whereas domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, or other abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern of power and control by one partner against another. And whereas 1 in 3 female murder victims and 1 in 10 male murder victims are killed by an intimate partner. And whereas every 44 minutes in Arizona, 1 or more children witness domestic violence. And whereas domestic violence is an issue affecting all Somerton residents along with all communities throughout Arizona, regardless of age, gender, economic status, race, religion, nationality, or educational background. And whereas domestic violence and intimate partner violence can have lifelong consequences emotionally, mentally, socially, spiritually, and physically. Violence harms the core of the human spirit and jeopardizes the future well-being of our communities, counties, state, and nation. And whereas victims of intimate partner violence lose a total of 8 million days of paid work each year, the equivalent of 32,000 full-time jobs. And whereas 24 people in the United States are victims of intimate partner violence every minute. And whereas Yuma County experienced a 22% increase in reported cases of domestic violence in 2022. And whereas 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. And whereas 42.6% of Arizona women and 33.4% of Arizona men experience intimate partner physical violence, intimate partner sexual violence, and/or intimate partner stalking. And whereas 30% of children exposed to intimate partner violence had their first exposure before the age of 2, and an additional 26% had their first exposure between the age of 2 and 7. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an important opportunity to enhance education, prevention, and intervention efforts around domestic violence and support organizations and individuals who provide advocacy efforts, services, and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Thank you. Gonna invite members of Amberley's Place, Tori and Carla, to come and receive the proclamation in council.
1, 2, 3.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, thank you so much for the opportunity to just speak briefly tonight. As we do every year for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Year to date, right now in Yuma County, we have already served 1,258 victims, primary and secondary victims of domestic violence throughout our county. That's from the port of entry to the eastern county line out past Dateland, okay? And of that, in Somerton, we've responded and assisted 338 primary and secondary victims total of all of the crimes that we respond to. Everything that we respond to is either child abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, elder abuse, or human sex trafficking. They're all interpersonal violent crimes. So I bring that to your attention today to let you know that we still have a tremendous amount of work to do, and we value and appreciate the consistent and ongoing support and collaboration with the city of Somerton. Chief Juarez, Judge Torok, they are outstanding in all that they do in support of victims of crime. And so again, my hat is off to you. We appreciate everything that you do, and we appreciate your continued support.
Second proclamation is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Whereas in 2023 in the US, there will be an estimated 1,958,310 new cancer cases and 609,820 cancer deaths. Whereas in 2023, the American Cancer Society estimates 41,120 women and men will be diagnosed with breast cancer in Arizona, and 13,460 will die from the disease. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a worldwide annual campaign in October, involving thousands of organizations to highlight the importance of breast cancer awareness, education, and research. And whereas, according to the Center of Disease and Prevention, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women. And whereas, increasing the public's knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer diagnosis and treatment can save lives. And whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to unite all citizens in the city of Somerton and surrounding community to prevent breast cancer deaths through increased education and regular screening. And whereas this October, as we display pink ribbons or wear pink clothing to raise awareness, we recognize breast cancer survivors, those currently battling the disease, friends and families of a diagnosed patient, and applaud the efforts of our medical professionals and researchers working to find a cure. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Somerton, and urge all residents to learn about and help eliminate the devastating disease.
Thank you. I'm going to invite members of the Somerton Fire Department to come and receive the proclamation.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We're gonna move on to consent agenda. Approval of minutes for council meeting of August 1st, 2023, August 15th, 2023, September 5th, 2023, September 19th, 2023, and check register for the month of August 2023. Does any member of council want to remove an item from consent agenda? Is there a motion? So motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo, second by Councilman Galindo. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have 3 presentations.
Mayor,
First one is for 16 years of service for Councilman Galindo from the League of Cities. So congratulations, Mr. Galindo.
Well, what can I say? I just want to say thank you for you guys for allowing me to serve the best little city in Arizona, and thank you for all the department heads and especially the citizens of Somerton that have trusted me with the city. So I hope I can 4 more years and then I'll retire. Thank you.
Mayor,
Thank you.
if we may, could you, so we could take a picture, you presenting the plaque, please?
Oh.
And with,
Maybe.
yeah, I think in front would be nice.
Oh, Councilman?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, that's fine. You got it. Okay. Thank you. Mayor, if I could. If we could open them back, call the public. We had one more guest that she'd like to introduce herself, if that's okay.
Okay, we're gonna reopen, call to the public to the special guest that's late. Yes. Well, go ahead.
You can come up and state your name and who you represent, please.
Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Taina Villapudua. I'm the new owner of the 85350 on Main Street. I'd like to introduce myself. I want to let you guys know and everybody here know that I'm here to offer a part of a great asset to the community. I understand that, you know, we've had some issues with the location off and on, but, you know, now that we're able to take over in that sense where we're going to be able to provide a safer place to, I want to say, you know, a home away from home, you know, for the community, for, you know, families, friends, children, and from the community that are going to be playing here in our fields, adults that are here, you know, with friendships and relationships. I want to maintain that. I am not currently a resident in Somerton, but I am a resident in the Yuma County. My family is originally from San Luis Rio Colorado. So we're here to bring a humble establishment for everybody here. And hopefully everything turns out the way we planned it. This is my first business, so I'm just out here, you know, throwing myself out there. I have 14 years of experience running a bar and grill in the county of Los Angeles. So I know the little rough ends. I know how things can, you know, get in a positive way and the negative way. And, you know, I'm here to just present myself and introduce myself as part of the community.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you guys there, see everybody there. We're offering lunch right now. We're going to be open a lot more often. So if you have any questions, feel free to call us or show up. You know, we're all, it's open for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Second presentation is Somerton Economic Development Booklet. Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor and Council, Jasmine Samudio, Economic Development Director, and I'm here to present to you guys a booklet I have developed myself for the city of Somerton for an economic outreach to future investors or anybody interested in featuring anything here in our city. I do want to state what we have present on the screen is a little bit different than the actual booklets. I reviewed it and we made some changes to fit more accurately. This book is going to be tailored individually for every set of groups that I visit, depending on their needs and their wants. But I'll go ahead and get started. So on the front cover, I have Unpacked Parkview. I made it almost a magazine style format. And I went ahead and followed the slogan, which is the best. Sorry, how did I? Oh, it's you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and scroll down for me, please. Best little city for family, business, and events is the slogan I went with, just to follow with our branding. You can go ahead and go down. This is a different picture than what you guys are seeing. I was able to locate an old picture that Sal helped me locate. The one you'll see in your booklet is an authentic picture taken here in Somerton of Main Street. I felt it represented the city well, considering that going forth in this booklet, I am introducing everything that has happened new in the city of Somerton. Let me grab a. In the following page, I have City of Somerton and I have the City Hall. The reason why I decided to post the City Hall as this the second image on this booklet is mainly because it's our visionary infrastructure, meaning that is where we see Somerton heading in terms of infrastructure, contemporary, modern, clean lines, modern, and up with trends. Of course, it's a beautiful building. Everyone I talk to, investors, people that have visited during events, they all mention how much they liked our city hall. And I decided to make that the second picture that they see. If you turn the page, I added an extra picture just for visuals. And then in the following page, I went with what is new in Somerton. When I'm here, I present the high school as a new infrastructure to investors. I'm letting them know that we have an increase. Not only do we have a new high school, which represent that stabilizes us as a stabled. I'm sorry, I went blank. It recognizes us as a growing community, along with a future workforce coming to the city of Somerton. In the following pages, I continue with what is new. I introduced businesses. I went ahead and changed that picture of the top picture with Somerton. In the bio, I say that businesses we have encompassed small businesses, mom and pop businesses, franchise, beauty, and renowned national chains. So I went ahead and changed that to a Jack in the Box. And so the following picture, I introduced Parkview, which is the meat and bones of this booklet. With this booklet, my goal is to introduce Somerton to investors. So here when I mainly introduce this booklet, I go in depth with Parkview. I answer questions when I am here. I let them know the vision for it. I let them know what we have available. If you go to the next page, I let them know what is available. I give them a description of the background on Parkview. I also give them the acres available and a blueprint. This is a general booklet, but I tailored this one specifically, like if I was introducing it to investors, and of course, investors always want to see blueprints. So I added that. In the following page, I also added what's available in a graphic. Pictures are always work. I have it listed in the page before, but in this picture, I have it listed in the blueprint so they could see it a little bit better. And in the following page, I have all the submitted renderings for Parkview. So then it goes aligned with my introduction to City Hall, which is everything is modern, very contemporary, modern, straight lines, which is what we see Somerton heading to, a very modern city. And that is what we hope investors bring to our city. In the following page, I put what is coming. So I put a master plan of the park that we might have on top of, or that we possibly might have, or are currently under development with Parkview. The reason why I decided to post this is because I find that investors want to know what else is coming to the community other than just real estate and commercial spaces. So I'm letting them know that not only are we emphasizing the growth in those sectors, but we're also growing in terms of community. So we're constantly keeping with our slogan, which is best place for families and business. And to touch on that, I went ahead and included what is currently happening in Somerton, which is city events. So with city events, I really emphasize how many people we introduce to the city or we welcome to the city yearly. On average, we have 15 events, which is an average of 1 event per month if you spread it out evenly. The highest grossing or highest trafficked event is 30,000, which is our Tamale Fest. And our lowest is grossing is between 5,000 to 8,000, which is still a great foot traffic for here in our city. To touch base on that, I like to emphasize to investors that we're a wholesome city. Not only do we have a growing city with a new high school and up and coming commerce areas and a new park, but we're also really big on tradition and community. Here, I like to pitch to investors, and I use a little bit of my psychology background to pitch this. We are, I would say, on the healthier in terms of mental health in our community. Of course, I don't have those statistics. However, statistically speaking, people who come from a small community, who have community events, typically have a higher mental health. They're typically happier and more willing to spend time here and grow their family. So that is the reason why I added the events. And then in the end, I went ahead and added statistics that would help investors. I have the top safest city in Arizona. 55 is the average household income. 2,058 is the average minimum price. Approximately 16% of the population has a bachelor's degree. 22 minutes is the average commute time, and 25,000 is the average traffic count for the city of Somerton. And that will be it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments?
I have a comment, Mayor. I just want to, I know the high school, I think, takes a lot of the attention, the center stage, but just something that I think would be helpful too is Ravi T. Soto, the school. That's also a new school, was built, I think, it opened in January, right, this year? So just something in addition to
I could add that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so that's, yeah.
Coming
then-
from the Somerton School Board members.
Yeah, no, and no, but it's no, but for economic development, I think it's also, I mean, there's more schools in the works, so that.
But it's the high school, the one we wanted for over
Yeah.
100 years.
The main reason why
But we feed into the high school, man. So that was just, just.
Yeah, The main reason for showing the high school was to introduce that we'll be having an up and coming workforce. I did read a little bit on the high school, and they do focus a lot on CTE, which is programs that help students develop skills. CPAs or the nurses, CNAs, welding and just special skills. So we will have a workforce available in a couple of years and hopefully thereafter. I will add those up and coming and new elementary schools on the next slide from now on. Any other comment?
Mayor, I'd like
Yeah.
to make another comment.
good.
If this is being presented to investors and, future business owners that are looking into our city, my suggestion also is to add the population.
Okay.
That's where we're trying to get, that we're big enough to have, grocery
Businesses,
stores, businesses. So I think that's an important part.
population. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely add that. I'm also currently working with Placer AI to get more accurate information. They're a little bit, it takes a little bit longer to get the information I am researching because they do work with the entire county. But as soon as I get those accurate numbers, I will add those numbers in.
I looked at this online and it's different, it's a little different.
Yes.
But my question to you is like the front cover, it looks real beautiful, but we no longer have a golf course. So how are you going to sell that we no longer have that golf course?
When the question is asked, I will be transparent and say we no longer have the golf course. It's still a beautiful picture. It's still Somerton. And although we might not have it now, it does not mean we might not have it in a few years. But if you suggest we change it, I can definitely change it. It's a beautiful picture. I actually made this the week I started, which was the same week that was, I believe, closed.
I have also another comment as well. On the quote from our community development director, I know what it says, but just the phrase "coming to Somerton" feels like stepping back in time. You're selling the city to be modern, and you're selling the city of a new vision. And I don't know about wording, stepping back
Back in time.
right.
Well, what we meant by that is we are stepping back in time and in the means that we are still traditional in values and we still hold together our community. We still enjoy our families. We still like to gather around our community, party, have a good time, and enjoy each other. One big commodity that we see rising right now with the mental health epidemic is that more and more people are searching for community-based cities for that reason. I started a little bit because I was a little bit nervous, but having a community and not feeling lonely, it only increases our mental health to a happier state. That is something I pitch. I do feel it's a commodity that we have that available. Not a lot of cities can offer events and have this commodity within each other at such a common base. So with that phrase, it was just, we take a step back and we get to slow down a little bit, even though the world around us is modernizing and we still value tradition and community.
So how I interpret it is more of, we're looking at homes instead of businesses. And so in my opinion, and this is how I interpreted it, is more of what you're just saying, the community feel. But if you're selling it to investors, then, I think we need to kind of reword it in a sense, in my opinion, to sell it to investors, that we are growing economically and there's vision for future growth, not only in homes, but also in commercial. And so it's just my opinion as I read it.
Yes,
But thank you.
I'll
Looks really
definitely
good.
keep that in consideration and tailor.
Thank you.
That's good. Your quote.
If I was given this pamphlet and I didn't know that Somerton, I want to come to Somerton. I want to visit Somerton. I see the events. It's a beautiful little town. It's a growing town. I want to be part of something that is growing. And the only thing that I feel you're lacking is the La Pequeña or La Paloma. No, but it's great.
Adding
I
more
will, I get emotional and just seeing all this, it makes me feel proud of representing Somerton and seeing the hard work that not only us here, but all of you guys have done to make this, it's not just one person. I think it's involved many people from 20 years ago to this date. I think it makes me proud to see this, and maybe a little things, needs to be fixed, but
Yes,
that's for here, but it's a nice pamphlet.
I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, it's a very beautiful town. We're growing. Every person and every organization I've showed this to, they've been awed. They had no idea Somerton was growing at this rate and it was looking so beautiful. And I get tons of compliments on not only the booklet, but on our work as well. And I have several people who I've presented it to tell me that they've come down to Somerton and that they wish us luck and they truly believe in our vision as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, looks pretty nice. Like, everyone said there's room for maybe tweaking it a little
Yes.
bit and council, feel free to let Louis know if you have any other comments and so we can have a finished product that, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And number 3, presentation on potential options for expansion of Main Street and Cesar Chavez.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This presentation actually ties in quite nicely with the theme that we've heard tonight about the city growing and the need for additional improvement. So tonight, for your consideration and review, I have a presentation related to the potential options for future expansion of the intersection of Main Street and Cesar Chavez Avenue. Mayor and Council, our city is growing. That is no secret. And it will continue to grow for the foreseeable future. Therefore, it is important that we consider how the city's future growth will impact our roadways, particularly our primary roadways. And for the purpose of this presentation, more specifically, the intersection of Main Street and Cesar Chavez Avenue. Mayor and Council, this is the intersection of a principal arterial, Main Street, and a major collector, Cesar Chavez Avenue. Those are the same classifications as Somerton Avenue and Main Street, meaning it is an equally important intersection. In the future, perhaps it could be the most important intersection in the city. But this is where we're at right now in the present. The existing conditions are as follows, as shown here. Main Street is 2 travel lanes each direction and 1 left turn lane westbound. And the same applies for eastbound, 2 travel lanes and 1 left turn lane. On Cesar Chavez, both northbound and southbound, you've got 1 travel lane in each direction and 1 right turn lane and 1 left turn lane. This is a regional view of the intersection. We all know what's there, but this picture helps to explain what will be there in the future. Right now, the most substantial impact, other than the 20,000 vehicles that traverse this roadway on a daily basis, is Somerton High School. Somerton High School right now is only the freshman class, but it will continue to grow along with the future uses that are anticipated for this area, such as the Parkview Commerce Center, the Periconia development, the city's lake and shelter project, as well as the recreational amenities that come with that, the residential development we anticipate will happen now that the lift station in that area of the city is operational, as well as the continued growth of Somerton High School and any potential future expansion of Raby T. Soto. So in essence, this intersection will become more important in the future. So how are we doing right now with what we've got and what we know we need? Slide, please. At the moment, it's okay for now. However, there was a traffic impact analysis that was conducted by Greenlight Traffic Engineering back in 2021, It was a regional traffic analysis, and it did have one recommendation, considering all this future growth that we're gonna have. The only recommendation for the intersection from the traffic impact analysis was to add a westbound right turn lane on Main Street. Mayor and council, the image that you see here in blue, the actual color, I'm sorry, no, it's gray with a blue hatch. What's filled in is our current right of way. That is what we have. Whether it be developed or just right of way that the city owns, that is the right of way that we have. The north half of Main Street that encroaches into some private property, that is the right of way that would be required to add this right turn lane that the traffic impact study is proposing. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Mayor and council, if we were to develop this right turn lane using the city of Yuma 325 feet depth for a right turn lane at the intersection of a principal arterial and a major collector, it would require a significant right-of-way acquisition of 6 properties, as shown on that map. There is, however, the option to do a shorter right turn lane, not per city of Yuma standard, but perhaps something more tailored to the city of Somerton. The line in red there represents what a right turn lane at 200 feet depth versus the 325 feet looks like. That would require the acquisition of 4 properties, more or less. Obviously, we would have to actually do some real groundwork surveying to determine how much we actually need. But this is just for tonight's presentation. I did run this by one of our contract engineers, and what I got back, the feedback is that we're close at 200 feet. It would probably work. He recommended going something to more like 220, just to play it safe, which would perhaps entail the acquisition of a 5th property. Any questions so far? Mayor and council, tonight this item is only for presentation to present to you what the traffic impact study is recommending, what that would look like, potential right-of-way acquisition, but also to ask for possible direction. Is this something that you would like staff to begin researching the possibility to accomplish? If not the entire right turn lane, staff would like to point out, could you go back to the previous picture, Andrea? Thank you. The acquisition of the corner lot there on lot number 1 is something that it could also be considered as a standalone option or concurrently as part of the entire acquisition of the other properties. And the reason I point out that one corner lot is because if we ever wanted to develop widen Cesar Chavez, for example, we're going to need that property anyway. In the interim, it could be used perhaps as a land bank or developed as a temporary parking lot, for example, as the property to the south. There's many options for it. It would be good to have it. It's just something for you to consider. But tonight, it's just we're asking for direction, thoughts, feedback on the whole thing.
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
Saul, can you also describe what your staff is considering for south of Cesar from Main Street, Cesar Chavez expansion?
Yes, yes, Louis, I can. Mayor and council, we're looking at the possibility of since we own that property, the corner lot, we have the means of acquiring the additional right of way if we needed to. The plan is to move the traffic, to have the circulation be as efficient as possible. So we see what's coming at Circle K, the widening, the expansion of the right turn lane, the northbound right turn lane on Somerton Avenue. Something similar here on Cesar Chavez, a right turn lane all the way from Main Street to Cano Street is something that we are seriously considering for this part of the city that would alleviate the congestion. I wish I had something to show you that would paint a better picture, but in a nutshell, it's just the improvement of Cesar Chavez to add a larger queuing right turn lane.
Did the traffic study take into account Cesar Chavez Avenue? What was the recommendation on it?
Mayor, the only recommendation at the moment is this right turn lane. Everything else was deemed acceptable, even with all the anticipated impact. But however, the reason we're recommending, as Louis, what he pointed out, it's more for, we don't have to be just the minimum, it's additional. We want to have the best level of service possible.
I think that's probably for later discussion. I would like to get more information on at least on that
Okay, certainly.
leg right there without having any. We compare the traffic on Somerton and Cesar Chavez is different. So, but at least for now, what we have in the agenda, on the right turning lane. I know there's several members of council when we were redeveloping or working on Cesar Chavez were mentioning that the concern of having enough right of way or having enough wide enough street for the future growth of the high school. And I've seen how it affects not having enough capacity on the roads leading to schools. It's always a mess. So at least, at least for me, I would recommend for us to start working on that and see what the actual length is for that turning lane. But yeah, we are going to need it in the future.
Mayor, just to clarify, sorry.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Have we explored the possibility of reducing Main Street to one lane, just as we've done it from Bingham all the way to, I believe is it Carlisle, where it's one lane? And that way we don't have to purchase additional right of way because you could use that outside lane as a right turning lane. And then from west of Cesar Chavez, it just opens up to a 2-lane road. And it's like that as it is, again, from Bingham not from Bingham, from
Somerton Avenue.
Yeah, from Somerton Avenue all the way down to Carlisle, I believe.
Is the question for staff?
Yeah, if you guys have considered that, because I mean, that'll reduce the cost of acquisition of land if you're just going to use that outside lane as a turning lane, and you still comply with it's easier to comply with a 320 that you feet that you're looking for, or as in that Yuma recommends. And we just focus really on Cesar Chavez land acquisition to wind those streets.
Councilmember Villalpando, staff hasn't considered that option. And one of the reasons why we haven't considered that option is because the traffic study really is the baseline for this whole, our recommendation here, what we're presenting. And when the traffic study was done, it considered our existing conditions, which is 2 lanes.
Yes, but did you guys offer that as an option to reduce it to 1 lane? I bet you guys didn't. And if it wasn't done, I bet you the traffic study would have come back probably differently if you guys actually had said, hey, you know what, we're willing to reduce it to 1 lane. And again, those are options that us as council need to know, and we need to be provided those options in order to make the best decision possible.
Councilmember, I can certainly discuss this with one of our contract engineers to see if that would be a viable option, and report back to you at a future meeting.
Yeah, and like the mayor said, hey, let's explore all the options, We want to do the right thing and make sure that the growth is sustainable for that traffic. And we acquire whatever land we need to acquire, but if it could be modified a little bit to the point where we don't have to acquire so much property, then so be it. But it needs to be thrown out there in order for us to even consider it.
And we have some of the data that was used for this traffic study, so whoever it was, maybe we can approach them and see what we can do. They can consider those options. And yeah, like with that Cesar Chavez right now, like if it didn't show, I would have more questions on not just, even though it's our property, but yeah, on the turning lane, if depending on the traffic counts going westbound, maybe that's an option, but if not, then at least we looked at all the options and see if we can avoid buying so much right away.
And I agree with that, Mayor.
Mayor, so is the direction then to look into one option in which we reduce the westbound lane of Main Street to accommodate a right turn lane with our existing right of way, but also looking at Cesar Chavez Avenue and see what we would need to make me balance out that action. One option, and another option to look into acquiring this right of way as shown in the exhibit, but also, as you recommended, Mayor, look into acquiring additional right of way on Cesar Chavez, even though the traffic study does not call for it. Am I understanding that correctly?
So if you look at the intersection, and we know more now than we knew then, and as far as what type of developments we're looking at, what we want, and maybe just have that with the looking at the option of not having to buy that much right away, but if we have to, and depending on the projections for traffic counts on those developments, then we can look at that. But if it still comes back that we need that right turning, because we're gonna need the right turning lane there with the new high school. We're gonna be back and having traffic queued back when that high school population triples from now. So
exactly.
Yeah, and when we've had concerns on Cesar Chavez, if it has the capacity to withstand all that traffic.
Very good, Mayor and Council. I will take your feedback and come back with updated findings at a future date, if that's okay.
Any other comments or questions?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
You don't want to see Cesar Chavez? You've always wanted it.
That's why 6 years ago, before they did the pathway, I commented that, I used to go to Phoenix, Tempe area every month because my daughter was up there. So I used to see these streets, very wide. And here they said, oh, no, we're never going to. I said, why don't we make them 4 lanes or, oh, no, it's not going to need it. And I said, we're wasting money right now putting the pathway. And this is well, in the future, well, we should look into the future. Don't wait until we're there. Why can't we look, so 6, 7 years ago, I don't know if Mayor, you remember that. That was one of my main, I want that to be 4 lanes. And
Main Street 4 lanes.
I think it was
Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez, it was to deaf ears. It depends how you ask or who's asking for those things, because I'm not very aggressive, I guess. I think I'm gonna have to, my last 4 years, I'm gonna have to change.
16 years.
I tried, trying to give you a little bit of power, but it seems that I need to be more aggressive on my things that I want for the city.
Oh, and especially, those are older homes and they're in the infield district. The other side is gonna be developed soon, so I think right now we're gonna do something about it. We gotta act fast, so hopefully we just get going with this and get the recommendations and council makes a decision on what we want to do and what the pros and cons of each rendition is.
Okay. I understand the direction. I will see how hard it would be to get an update to that traffic study then for considering everything we've discussed. Hopefully.
And knowing what type of development might come, so we're ready to at least
Correct.
absorb the impact of.
And yes, and we have a very good idea of what's coming. So the data, we just gotta let the experts tell us.
Like a Castillo grocery store.
Believe, yes. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council.
Okay, thank you. Summary of current events.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Juarez?
I never get called in first, so I was comfortable in my seat. Mayor, good evening, council, good evening. I have a couple things. The lady that went before in the minutes to the public mentioned the walk on the 12th. Purple patches, our officers will be wearing the purple patches that I'm bearing today in my uniform for the same reason, proclamation that was mentioned this afternoon to bring awareness to victims of domestic violence. Just to give you a little bit of statistics for the Somerton Police Department, our two highest and most constant cause is dogs at large and domestic violence. We deal with that every single day. Number two is we'll be at the Sheraton Hotel tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be joining our Human Resources Department with at a job fair. And the last thing I have is our officers are going to be putting down their razors for the next 3 months, something I don't like, but it's a fundraiser for Special Olympics. So they'll be wearing a beard for the next 3 months. You'll see them. They pay some money in order to have that beard showing, but it's a fundraiser for all the athletes for Special Olympics. We do have about 9 of them here in Somerton, so we do that for them. That's all we have. Thank you.
Public Works, Charles?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In the Streets Department, we started yesterday, the annual cleanup. No big surprises other than a little bit of bees over here in the one neighborhood. They were taken care of early this morning. On Parkview and Main Street, GC is wrapping up the 18-inch concrete pipe for the storm drain. They're at 90% right now. They should be finishing up by mid next week. Main Street and Parkview Avenue, the traffic signal. You've seen all the barricades up there, all the markers. DPE should have that paved by the end of the week. Yuma Valley contractors started the demo of the solar panels over there in the water yard on yesterday. It looks good. We have some good progress moving along. The water department, the guys are still working on the replacing and reprogramming of the water meters. We should be seeing possibly next week, hopefully, if everything goes well in the wastewater, the No Flush Wipes campaign. I saw the video today for the first time and it was great. It was awesome. I thought it was great. When you see it, you're going to go, oh, the sound effects and everything is just remarkable.
Is there a way to put thumbs up or thumbs up?
It's going to be wild. I was
I
like, I was beside myself. But when I sent Vanessa and Jasmine the email, it was like, oh yes, we got them. Just a little quick thing on the recycle portion of everything that we've had. We're about 75% of all scrap metal from the water plant and out there at the recycle yard. It's gone already. We are going to be looking at the trees next, at the yards out there. We're going to go green. We're going to look into exploring the different avenues of looking at our mulching partners around Yuma County to help with that side of it. We're doing minor burning. We're trying not to. Looking at the green side of everything. And that's it. Thank you.
Parks and Rec, Angelica?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have some important dates. We have the Senior Center birthday celebration next Wednesday, October 18, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have the Somerton Art Festival this Friday, October 6th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Centennial Park. And I believe Andrea is going to send out the schedule for the event. I hope to see you there. We have our UTV Block Party, October 14 from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's gonna be along Main Street. Our 7 Mayors International Bike Ride event is October 21st. The ride begins at 8 a.m. at the Civic Center. We've been working together with City of Yuma and the different cities for this committee, and it's coming out really good, really good. We have the All Stars Got Talent Youth Center Talent Show, October 25th from 6 p.m. at the Community Center. That's all I have. Thank you.
Shona, Finance Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My 6th week. Lots to learn. Just wanted just wanted to let you know that I was currently working with my team just to kind of get an overview of our finance department, trying to get myself familiar with our processes, trying to make things for our public as well as our departments a little bit more efficient in our accounts payable department, accounts receivable department, and trying to gain all the information that I can in order to make that run a little bit smoother. I met with Marcus and Ben. They're from Keddington and Christensen, our CPAs that we do the outside accounting firm. They are getting with me in regards to our upcoming audit to get all the information that we need in order to submit and start that process. Our audit is coming up. The site visit is October the 30th. So I'm working with them in order to upload. I've already sent the engagement letter out, and I'm working on some verifying some letters that need to go out to some of our vendors in order to maintain our balances. That's all I have.
Chief Hernandez, Fire Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Just wanted to let you know that in the fire department, we had a vacancy. We had one firefighter leave, but one of our part-time firefighters actually applied for the full-time, so he'll be starting tomorrow full-time. Isaias Muros, EMT firefighter. Just to let the community know, like the mayor said last week, we need to be a little bit extra careful out there. Wanted to report that for the month of September, we had 12 motor vehicle collisions within our response area. 11 patients were transported to Yuma Regional Medical Center. And then we also did have 2 fatalities within the accidents. And then also let the community know that we are starting back our Explorer program in the fire department. After COVID, we had to shut it down. But we do have some firefighters in the station that are interested in being the advisors. So we're gonna have a meeting October 24th at the Public Safety Facility at 6 p.m. So if any youths out in the community are interested, we'll be providing more information on the Explorer program, which I think it's a good program. I started as an Explorer, and a lot of the hires that we have in Somerton actually started as Explorer and then worked their way up to full-time. So thank you.
Chief, we have a question.
What's the age?
Oh, it's for 14 to 18.
Mayor, that's all we have.
Councilman Villalpando. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Just a reminder, this Thursday, we have the vaccine clinic from 3 to 6. The Yuma County Health Department will be here at the Cultural Center. Again, vaccines for all ages up to 18. School age children and vaccines, COVID, and all vaccines available. That's it.
Councilman Castillo.
I got nothing, Mayor.
Councilwoman Delgadillo.
I have nothing, Mayor.
Nothing. Thank
Galindo.
you. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, today we met with Mayor Yescas of San Luis, and want to thank the fire department. They were there, donated some equipment that it doesn't pass the standard here, but in San Luis, they can use it. So thank you. Thank your staff too. And this last week, we were in Phoenix for Sister City agreements. There were about, was it 25, 30 cities that signed with cities in Sonora. So it was a good get to know, there were some presentations of a lot of the history between Sonora and Arizona, and it was very informative. And the mayor of our sister city, Rosario, invited us to their Bacanora Fest in March. So council, you guys are available in March. He said he would love to have us over there. It's close to Saguaripa, so maybe you can host us over there. But again, I want to thank the economic development staff and our city manager for attending. We were ready with the gifts and just the city having that presence there. It was good. Thank you. It's 8:02, meeting's adjourned.
Bacanora Fest.